NAB 2025 just wrapped up last week, and there were some big names with big announcements. However, some of the most exciting gear at NAB 2025 doesn't come from your usual suspects. This year, it wasn't just about the headline-stealing names, but the tools and companies that are quietly reinventing what is possible for filmmakers. What's good, everybody? James Jackson here, back again with another video. If you're new here, I do tips, tricks, news, and reviews for the film and video making industry. If this is content that you like, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can stay up to date on all the content going forth, and hit that like to help the channel grow. Before we get started, just a quick note. This is not a rank list. These are just simply the 10 products that stood out to me the most at the NAB floor, some because of the innovations, some because of practicality, and some just because they made me excited to just start creating again. And by the way, none of this is sponsored, just my honest takes of what caught my eye. Having said all that, let's get into it. First up on the list is, the Blackmagic Pyxis 12K, the camera that had the biggest gravitational pull on the show floor, and it's not hard to see why. We're talking about a full-frame 12K camera with 16 stops of dynamic range, internal RAW, and multiple resolutions options, all without any cropping on the sensor, minus the Super 35 9K crop. But whether you're shooting 12K, 8K, or 4K, you are getting the full image coverage and maintaining that cinematic field of view. It's built in the box style format, which makes super modular for different setups, whether you're flying it on a gimbal or rigging it out for studio and narrative works. The readout speed, look, it's not lightning fast like its bigger brother, the Ursa City 12K, but it's solid. Definitely good enough for most productions, and better than some of cameras that are more than, 5 times its asking price? But here's the kicker. Blackmagic did confirm that autofocus is coming not only to the Pyxis 12K, but to all of their current gen lineups. So it's not out just yet, but it's officially been announced. And once it lands, the Pyxis becomes a serious all-around contender. Well, that is, if the tariffs don't inflate the prices too much, and again, that's when, or should I say, if it starts shipping in July. Next up is DaVinci Resolve 20. Blackmagic is just not innovating on the camera side, they're pushing post-production forward in a serious way. Resolve 20 introduces a whole suite of AI-powered tools, including the audio assist, the IntelliTech editing, and serious upgrades to both the Magic Mask and the depth field with Magic Mask 2.0 that makes rotoscoping actually fun, and the depth map that makes it usable and actually work. I've only scratched the surface so far, but I am looking forward to sharing how these tools perform in actual paid workflows. So far though, very promising. Look out for the videos on Resolve 20 beta in the near future. Moving on, let's talk about lenses, and let's start off with the Dulens Cambrian APO medium format lens set. I've used their lenses before, specifically the 50mm macro triassic lens, and they've always had this really beautiful way of blending vintage textures with modern clarity. These new 4 lenses are true medium formats with a 55 image circle diameter, and hopefully they can hold up optically at a level that feels way above their asking price. All the lenses are said to have a T2 maximum aperture with equal weight and size. The lens set is said to be a 40mm, 55mm, 77mm, and a 105mm. While these lenses are designed for medium formats like the Ursa City 17K 65mm and the upcoming Fujifilm Eterna cinema camera, the image circle is only 28% larger than that of full frame and 20% larger than that of VistaVision. Therefore, they will optically perform great with your full frame cameras. At around $2,000 per lens, you're getting APO corrections, which means no chromatic aberrations, That's a big deal when shooting high-res sensors where every imperfection becomes visible. The rendering is dimensional and the character is tasteful without being overwhelming. If you guys are interested in seeing me get my hands on these lenses and learning more about them, let me know in the comments down below. Following that, we got Blazar with the Mantis Anamorphic lenses. These are full-frame anamorphics with unique 2x look, but a 1.33x de-squeeze factor, which gives you that subtle stretch and creamy fall off without being overwhelmed, and you get that typical anamorphic bokeh. What stands out is how compact and lightweight these lenses are. They fit really well on small rigs like the FX3 or even cameras like the Cinema Camera 6K full frame. Now, my only knock on them, and it's a small one, is that they don't have a focal length that hits that 40mm look that I love. It's a personal thing and I understand it, but that's just me. Outside of that, these look great. They look to be clean and well built, and flares look to be a little bit more controlled than their Remus brothers. Now let's talk lights for a second, because Zhiyun finally did what I have been asking for since they released the original X100. They made an RGB version and they brought the right accessories. The new X100 RGB, which was made development in collaboration with Cambrian, now supports full RGB output. But the real headliners is the new modifiers that comes in this ecosystem that I'm so happy that is finally here. We finally have a Fresnel attachment, and not just any Fresnel, one that allows you to shape and direct your lights while keeping the X100 compact and fast to deploy. Add to that, there's a new magnetic barn doors which attach directly to the Fresnel, and a projector mounts that can accept gobos for creating textures, cuts, and logo throws. And this is becoming a full feature creative tool. It's a rare thing to see this kind of thing on such a small fixture, and especially given the cost. The only downside, and we'll talk about this later on, is availability. That is the growing issue with a lot of the products this year. Next up, GMV also brought some serious innovations with their ZipTie Z200B. These are items that are fully weather resistant. They have a set that is bicolor, but also full RGB compatible. And here's the fun part, they're designed to be zip tied together. Yeah, you can actually build custom lights by joining multiple panels together in a clean modular way. Each unit runs at 200 watts, so you're getting real output, not just convenience. It reminds me a lot of the Nanlite Pavel Slim 120C series and what they were going for. But with some more flexibility in how you mount and shape the array, this could be a very go-to for indie filmmakers. Staying on GMV for a moment, I've got to mention the new Reign Series lights. These are Cobb-style fixtures that can be stacked, like literally stacked, to increase output and coverage, so you can run a pair for a strong key light or stack 4 for some massive output. Each unit is about 400 watts, and they're kept in that form factor that is surprisingly compact. These lights are also weather resistant, and their build is like extremely solid, like built tough. If the color accuracy holds up and the fan noise can stay manageable, this could be a really creative lighting solution, both for mobile shooters as well as studio setups. If you're interested in learning more about these product lines, let yourself be heard in the comment section down below. On the more surprising end, I want to sit and sort of talk about Neewer, as they just introduced a new light called the HS200C. Now look, Neewer isn't usually the name you associate with high-end lighting, but this light is keeping my perspectives on what they are doing. It's a 200-watt RGB fixture that is built very interestingly similar to the Zhiyun Molus G200, but it appears they took it a step further. You get full green and magenta controls, onboard DMX, access to digital gel libraries for Lee and Roscoe's. That's not something you usually see typically around the $300 price range. It's compact, powerful, and more than enough for interviews, product work, and stylized location shoots. I'm planning a deeper dive into Neewer's lighting line, but this piece really caught my eye at the show. If you want to know more about the Neewer HS200C, leave it in the comments down below. Then there's Accsoon with their new CineView M7 monitor series, which I've been excited about since I first read about them prior to the show. Accsoon has always been solid when it comes to wireless video systems, but now they're buried that reliability to a sharp, bright 7-inch monitor. The base model is just a monitor, but the M7 Pro adds a built-in wireless receiver, which effectively gives you a director's monitor right out of the box. If you're already in the Accsoon ecosystem, the M7 Pro works well with all your existing CineView transmitters, which is a huge plus. The only one I don't have confirmation yet on compatibility with is the CineView Nano. But I also like to let you know that I do have the CineView SE, so if you are interested in learning more about the M7 Pro when it is released, leave your comments so we can let Accsoon know that you guys are interested. And finally, we gotta talk about Core SWX with their new Snap system. Now, I've used Core products for over the years, and you guys know this if you're new to the channel, and they've always delivered. But the new module system is just, honestly, it's just brilliant. They've created a line of batteries that can snap together, like literally snap together. They can share charge, increase runtime, but also simplify workflow. You got the Nano system, which includes MPF, BPU, V-mount, and gold mount options that can all be interconnected. Then there's the Edge system, which is built for more serious rigging, but still plays nice with the Nanos. The result is a stackable, flexible battery ecosystem that just works. No tangled bricks, just clean, fast, and expandable power. Now, before we wrap up, there's one thing I do have to address. A lot of the products I've talked about, from GVM to Zhiyun to Accsoon, these are all made by Chinese manufacturers, and with the renewed trade tariffs under the current administration, especially with the direction things are heading in 2025 with this trade war, US customers could be facing price hikes as well as delays. I'm planning to make a dedicated video to go over all of this and sort of give my thoughts on that, on sort of how it's going to affect gear availability, pricing, and sort of the long-term viability for, indie creatives. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let me know in the comments which of these products are you most excited for, and which ones you want me to review first. Let me know, leave your comments down below, and as always, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, take care everyone.